Hey everyone, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. Thursday, I'm on Twitter. So, remember, about 3 weeks ago when I was doing these before, you have to use the hashtag KatieFAQ, because the ampersand sign, that little loop that goes between Q and A, won't let you do a hashtag. What? So, KatieFAQ is the hashtag that we use, and I got on Twitter, and I have some questions, and I even have an epiphany that I had today, one of those moments that you guys said you like, so that will come at the end, so stay tuned for that. And if you're not following me on Twitter, hop on at Kati Morton. You can ask your questions, you can get some support on there, you can direct message me that way. And here we go, without further ado, our first question. Number 1, I have a friend who I think is being sexually abused. She is showing the signs, like cutting and self-harming, as well as many suicide attempts. What can I do to help her? And this is from Kat on Twitter. And that can be really hard. The first thing that I always say to do, and you can even check out my other videos, I believe it's on my FAQ video, but if anybody knows different, and there's a different video that I'm forgetting, I have so many videos now, I talk about how to best support a friend. And in that I talk about just letting her know you're there and being consistent, making plans, being supportive, things that we would kind of expect from any friend, right? But as far as getting her help, the first thing I would encourage you to do is just start talking to her about it and be supportive, because sometimes when we offer help to people, it can kind of scare them away and they'll feel overwhelmed and they'll be more scared and they'll think, how do they know? Because for many of us who've been sexually abused, many of the predators, people who do this to us, will tell us, I'll hurt your mother, I'll hurt your sister, I'll do this if you tell anybody. And so sometimes if we pressure them to talk about it, they can get really frightened and it can be really scary. But in this scenario, there are many things out there to help her. And if she is open to talking about it and admitting that, things are awful and it is really scary and something bad is happening, I would encourage her to call. There's social services is a great, in the States. Now, if any of you are in the UK or in other parts of the world and you can leave your information, you know what government funded or whatever agency takes care of stuff like this. For us, it's social services. If we're a child and we're being abused by a parent, they're the ones that we report things to. They're the ones that we talk to. That's where I call when I report child abuse. I call Child Protective Services, which is part of social services. They handle a lot of different venues, but that's usually the best place to call. Also, she can call the suicide hotline and get some referrals for different support groups and things like that, because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of different battered women shelters that offer sexual abuse groups and everything. There's a ton of options. So that would be my advice, is first just be a careful listening friend, and then let her know what services are available. You can look them up and just give her a sheet of them and just say, if you ever wanted to get a hold of somebody. Okay? Now the second question from Nicole, can I message you or talk to you in any way? And I know many of you have been really frustrated. You're like, Katie, oh my gosh, you got so popular, you can't answer everything. And I remember the days when I would get home from work and I would spend about 30 minutes answering every question on every site and it would all be good. Now, I swear, I had a week off. I took a week off around Christmas and I was like, I'll catch up on some stuff. Guys, I spent literally 8 hours a day answering questions and I wouldn't even make a dent, because by the time on Tumblr, for any of you who know, you scroll down, you get to the last question, and then you're like, and then you go all the way up and you think you're almost done and there's just as many as there were when you got on. And it's like, holy jeez, somebody's playing a cruel joke, right? So the best way to ask me questions is to use my hashtags. On Twitter when you know it's Thursday and you want a question answered, or on Wednesdays you go in the Tuesday video or the Monday video and you ask a question in the comments and you just use the hashtag KatieFAQ. You can do it on Tumblr, you can do KatieFAQ hashtag. I search for that hashtag and those are the questions that get answered most quickly. So that's probably the best way. And on my website under forums, you can go into Katie Q&A, and I get on that periodically, but usually on Wednesdays, website Wednesdays, or on Fridays. Sometimes I'll do it on Fridays, or I'll shoot out an extra video. So those are some of the options. And on Facebook, if you ask me a question, if you message me and you make the question in the first couple lines so I can see it, that'll be the easiest way to get that answered too. So that's the easiest way to get a hold of me these days, okay? The third question, I have EDNOS and I've been purging for the past 2 days. How can I stop? And can I stop? And the answer is yes, we can stop. It is horrible, that vicious cycle of binging and purging. And I talk about it in the bulimia video, so you can search that. It's one of my older videos. It's actually one of the first couple of videos I did, and I'm really awkward, so I apologize for that. But I give some, I talk about what it is, and I know that you're saying you have EDNOS, and that we can do a bunch of different things from different diagnoses. That's why EDNOS is kind of the catch-all. But the best way to break that cycle is honestly distraction, making plans, getting out, going out with a friend to get a snack, and then knowing that you won't be anywhere where you can purge. Like even having a supportive friend where you're like, don't let me go to the bathroom, make me sit with you for an hour or whatever. Once we break that cycle, because it's that cycle, right? We restrict, and then we get so hungry that we binge, and then we've overeaten because we've been restricting, and then we purge, and then we just start all over again, right? So we have to find a way out, and I find distraction to be the best. So that would be my advice for that. And if any of you have distraction tips, because I could go on and on, you can listen to music, you can journal, you can call a friend, you can go for a walk, you can paint your nails, you can blah, blah, blah. I find painting the nails to be very effective, because who wants to do all that work and then just mess it up, right? So anyway, but leave your tips on that, because that can be really helpful for many of us. The last question, how do we keep going when we're losing faith in the NHS system and other areas that are supposed to be supportive? And this is from Jess. And I'm sorry, Jess, I know you've been waiting forever and ever and a day to get a therapist, and it just is really disappointing sometimes because for any of you who don't know, NHS is I think it's National Healthcare System, something like that. But it's the system that's utilized in the UK for mental health and for anything like that. And it can take a while to get treatment sometimes, and we can wait, and people can leave, and then we wait for someone else to get hired, and this goes on and on and on. And the best thing that I would encourage you to do, Jess, is to allow people online to support you for now, and I would look into getting another support. I know that you have some people in your life that are really supportive. I would look for other groups if there's a way, and this, unfortunately, I'm not as well versed in how it works in the UK. If any of you are, and if you've had a good experience and you went through this certain way, let us know. I know, Mondi, you had a really good experience through the NHS system, so maybe you could shed some light on this for me. But I always encourage my clients to set up your own support group, whether it be friends, people you work with, people that you've used to be friends with in the past and you've just lost touch with them, parents, sisters, a dog, a fish, doing art classes. I would definitely utilize those to the best, and I would vlog about it, and I would get support online, and I would hop on the website and use the forums and ask people questions and get involved so that you know you're not alone, because none of you are alone. We're out here to help. That's why I'm creating all this, and that's why I'm excited for our community to grow, even though I know many of you are frustrated because they can't get all your questions answered, but there are so many people out there who you can talk to, and in your time of need, you can reach out. So don't be afraid to reach out, okay? We're all here to help. Okay, and that's all the questions for today. Sorry, I'm wiggling in my seat to tuck my legs under. I had an epiphany today, and it was because actually I saw this guy fall down on the sidewalk, which isn't very funny, and I didn't laugh, but it made me think because we scrambled to get up. Have you ever tripped and you almost fell, or you caught yourself and you scrambled to get up and you look around and you're like, did anybody see me? That was horribly embarrassing. I thought to myself, why is it in life we get up so quick, right? I'm not going to lay on the sidewalk. I fell. Unless, of course, I broke my leg, right? But if I tripped and fell and skinned my knee, I'm just going to get back up and I'm going to look around like, shit, did anybody see that? That's embarrassing, right? But emotionally, we'll stay down for years. Something will trip us up and we'll fall. So let's say I had a slip up, I cut, and it's been months since I had self-harm, and I'll lay there for days, weeks, months, years before I decide to get up again. And why is that? What can we do to make that a quicker turnaround? What can we say? And so that's kind of my journal challenge. And if you want to share your thoughts on it, that would be great. Or if you want to do video responses to this about that and what you think and what we can do to speed up that turnaround, that would be great, and I'll approve them. So you can submit them, and then I'll get into my inbox and I'll approve them. So anyway, that's just my thought for the day, because there's nothing that says we can't just get right back up. Oh, I slipped up. recovery's a process. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to try again. I know what tricked me up this time, and I will make sure it doesn't happen as much the next time, and I'll work at it. We need those reassuring thoughts. So give us your thoughts, and we'll help one another so that we can scramble and get up like we would in real life, so that we don't stay down for so long emotionally. So that's just my thought for the day, and I hope you're all doing well. I know VidCon starts tomorrow, yay! And I believe I'm gonna have to talk to I Drink the Seawater to make sure, because I think we're gonna do a join meetup where her and I will hang out and you guys can come and meet us. But I'm thinking I'm gonna do it in Santa Monica, because I know that's a lot easier for many of you. And I'm thinking there's a Coffee Bean, and Courtney Pants has met me at this Coffee Bean because it's easy and there's lots of seats and there's lots of space. But it's a Coffee Bean on 9th and Wilshire. And that's where we're going to have the meetup on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And I'll be there for a couple hours and then I'll head back home. So what do you think? Okay? I love you all and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!